I'm at a point where I think people just choose to be dumb because they can't be this dumb. People can't be this dumb, right? There's slow and then there's really slow. Basic business says make as much money as possible, right? Maximize opportunity, right? If I have something that everybody wants, my price goes up. If I have something that nobody wants, my price is going to come down. It's basic in the most basic sense. Everybody needs oil, prices go up. If you don't need it as much, if the demand exceeds, if the production exceeds the demand, what happens? The prices come down. Demand exceeds production, prices up, etc. Very, very simple. Have we not figured out, have people not figured out yet that when Caitlin Clark was on television, more people watched? When she wasn't on television, less people watched. What does that mean for the WNBA? What does that mean? That means the WNBA and the television networks are going to put Caitlin Clark on TV as much as humanly possible to maximize their product, to generate more interest in their product. But we're going to dig deeper into that right now. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rant, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. We talk facts over feelings. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Showmont, aka Rudy the Hammer. For those of you new to the channel, thank you for jumping on. Appreciate you. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. For those of you who've been with me for the longest, I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Like the video, leave a comment. Let's talk about this conversation, because they announced that Indiana Fever games are going to be on national TV 41 times this season out of 44 games. And people are losing their minds. There are people that are upset. The game is being ruined. The game is being sabotaged by putting your most valuable asset on television. Did you wake up yesterday if you think that? Here's a post of someone saying they miss Unrivaled already. And this is a post here from Ken Swift on Twitter. They don't care about the players getting paid. They don't care about them having daycare or nice practice facilities. They don't care about adding new expansion teams. They don't care about the league gaining more popularity and credibility. They only care about the girl from Iowa being more popular than their faves. That is reality. Why would you be upset that Caitlin Clark will be on television 41 times in 44 games? You must be the same people that are upset that LeBron James is on television more than everybody else, or Steph Curry's on TV more than everybody else, because you like someone else more than one of those guys. The NBA doesn't exist. Only in women's basketball does this bullshit exist. Only in women's basketball do people turn utterly fucking stupid and say, well, more people are going to watch, which means it's going to help the league, which means it's going to help the players in the league. But because it's not the player that we like, we don't want it. If Angel Reese was put on television 41 times on national TV and Caitlin Clark was put on 20 times, the same folks that have an issue with Caitlin Clark being on TV would not have an issue with Angel Reese being on TV. Let me explain to you the basic television rules, since it clearly flies way over folks' heads. From the comments that I've seen on Twitter, it is mind-blowing how unbelievably dumb people are. The WNBA last year drew 1.15 million viewers for every game on average that Caitlin Clark was on television. The rest of the WNBA did 394,000 viewers on average. In 2023, the WNBA averaged 505,000 viewers on TV. So they went down from 23 to 24 for games not inclusive of Caitlin Clark. When you add Caitlin Clark into the mix, the number jumped over an average of 600 plus thousand, which is how the WNBA can justify saying our league is becoming more popular. That is how it's done. It's basic. It's common freaking sense. So what do you think ESPN is going to do? Whatever other Ion and whatever network is these games are on. I don't even care what network they're on. Whatever network they're on, ESPN, Ion, I don't remember what other ones they were on last year. Doesn't matter to me. But whatever networks that they are on, I put your game on TV. If I have more viewership, what does that mean? That means I can sell ads at a higher rate. If I sell ads at a higher rate, that means your product is in higher demand. If your product is in higher demand, that means that when it comes down to negotiating television contracts in the future, guess what? You'll get paid more money for it. I know they're in an 11-year deal. I am sure that that deal will not go for 11 years, people. That's my opinion. At some point, the WNBA is going to try to break away from the NBA, as it should, and try to stand on its own 2 feet, as it should. It will no longer get a subsidy from the NBA, as it should not, because no other league gets subsidized by another league for survival. But it provides an avenue for revenue to your league. Here's reality. If no one watches, what does that mean? That means that we pay less for ads to be on during those games. So what am I going to do as a television station, a network? I'm going to put the player who draws the most people possible. That is Caitlin Clark 1, Angel Reese 2, Asia Wilson, Sabrina. That's what I'm putting on television. The rest of them can fall in line. As of right now, you got 41 games from the Indiana Fever, 33 from Vegas, 32 from the Liberty, and 24 from Chicago. 23 from Atlanta, 23 for Dallas, 21 from Phoenix, 20 for Minnesota. Why are people complaining about Minnesota not being on TV? You want to know why? Because they're boring. Nobody's interested. 19 for Seattle, 17 for Golden State, and 16 for Connecticut and Washington. So you're mad that Caitlin Clark is on TV 41 times. Caitlin Clark being on TV helps you. It's like the most basic mathematics. And yet the fans of these other players are too fucking dumb and dense to understand it. If you owned a TV station in simplest forms, would you put Caitlin Clark on TV as much as possible? The answer, if it's anything other than yes, is that then you're a failure at business. If it's anything other than yes, then you would be a failure at business. It's unreal. It doesn't take common sense. I mean, it's just common sense. It's just basic logic. This doesn't take, a brain surgeon to figure this out. This doesn't take an engineer to figure this out. If I have more viewers, I can charge a higher rate for ad rates. What does that mean when I go back to the table to negotiate with this damn league for continued rights of television? Guess what it means? It means that the league says, you're going to pay me more. You want my product? You pay me more. Duh. Do people think that the salaries of the NBA players grew because the interest in the NBA grew based on ticket sales? No, it grew based on television. Television is why the NBA exploded as a product. Television is why these players are making so much damn money, because these TV deals are massive. For those who have commented on my board telling me, well, why are men, primarily white men, talking about TV ratings for women's basketball? Well, number one, 60% of the viewership of women's basketball are men. 60%. And guess what? Every other sport, ratings are discussed all the time. Just because you don't watch those sports doesn't mean they're not discussed all the time. There's a reason that Nielsen exists. There's a reason that TV ratings agencies exist to report this. Why, you ask? Because it sets rates for money. Like, why would someone put a television show that no one's watching? You gotta be kidding me. Like, we have hit a level of dumb that is beyond, to me. It's beyond. The level of dumb has gone crazy. The Super Bowl is the most watched American sporting event every year. Every year. 127.7 million people watched the Super Bowl this past season. And they sold a 30-second spot for $8 million. $8 million. Consider how many 30-second spots there were in the Super Bowl. 8 million. 8 million would cover the entire WNBA salary. Every year they talk about how many people watch the Super Bowl. Every year they talk about how much these companies are paying to be advertised on the Super Bowl. And yet you sit here and you wonder why people are talking about ratings. Adam Silver's in a fucking panic because the ratings of his league have gone like this. So he creates bullshit like the in-season tournament or the play-in for the playoffs, because he thinks that tournaments attract attention. They don't. It was a gimmick for a year, and nobody watched it this year. Not to mention you put the championship game in the middle of the week, when last year you put it on a Saturday. And then you alter the All-Star game to be a gimmick that nobody watched. And the play-in still exists, which is utterly pointless. Utterly pointless. Earn your playoff spot in the regular season. No, we have to create other gimmicks. They used the gimmick because of COVID, and now they want to keep a gimmick forever. Adam Silver is freaking out daily because his TV viewership is in the toilet in comparison to what they just sold TV rights for. You can bet your ass that all these TV companies are going to be coming back saying, you know what? We got to renegotiate this bad boy, because there's no way in hell that we can continue this with the shit ratings that the NBA is generating now. So you better fix your fucking game. Every year, every sport talks about ratings. But because it's the WNBA and you don't watch anything more than the WNBA or watch women's basketball, or maybe you're just an Angel Reese fan, I don't know, or just an anti-Caitlin Clark person, I don't know, that now all of a sudden you have, why are men talking about ratings? Because ratings are what prove interest. When you're shoving something down someone's throat and saying everybody wants to watch it, well, guess what we're gonna do now? We're gonna check you on that statement. We're gonna actually see if what you're saying is true. And last year in the 2024 WNBA season, You were proven wrong. One player drew, the rest of y'all motherfuckers didn't. That's it. But no, y'all will say, some of y'all will say, oh, I'm not saying all, some of y'all will say, oh, those ratings are not real. Please. 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 Y'all mad because Caitlin Clark's on television when she's the only reason that anyone gives a shit. Yeah, I know anyone. I'm obviously being hyperbolic. Look it up if you don't know what hyperbolic means. She is the reason that most people are turning on the television to watch the WNBA. It's that simple. And that is the reason that all the networks are putting Caitlin Clark's games on television. Because they know that they're going to maximize their investment with Caitlin Clark on their screen. She accounts for about 22 to 23% of all the WNBA games on national television this season. Have you ever complained when LeBron? Yeah, let's take a look. Let's just take a look for shits and giggles. Let's see how many games. How many games was Steph Curry on national TV? Golden State Warriors. $36. Anyone complaining? 36. You want to know what? I hadn't been to a Heat game all year, and I got season tickets. And Steph Curry was supposed to be in town on Tuesday, along with Jimmy Butler. I'm now deciding whether or not I actually want to go to the game because Steph Curry probably won't play because he just got body slammed onto his back last night and badly bruised his tailbone. So I don't know that he'll play on Tuesday. So now I'm deciding whether or not I'm actually going to go to the game. That's the impact that Steph Curry has. LeBron James, let's look at the Lakers. The Lakers this year, 39 nationally televised games. 39 for a team that finished in the 7th seed last year. The NBA still knows, the networks still know that your two biggest draws are LeBron and Steph. It's just that simple. Regardless of their record, the two biggest draws are LeBron and Steph. End of story. Is anyone complaining that they are on television? No. No one is. But because Caitlin Clark is, you're mad? How about you utilize that opportunity to showcase other players who are playing against her and take advantage of that opportunity to show the world who you are? That is what you're supposed to do when you're put on national TV, is that you're elevated by being on that broadcast. You elevate yourself. You let everybody else see who you are. Hell, we may have remembered Kennedy Carter for her body chuck of Caitlin Clark, but we also started to pay attention to her and see how damn good she was. You learn about players because of other players. Like, why is that a problem? But I guess it'll always be a problem because you have to have this narrative or make some bullshit up that she's not drawing more than everybody else when you damn well know she is. How about you just put the Washington Mystics on 44 times next year and take everybody else off television? Take everybody else off national TV. See how your game grows. I'll challenge every Angel Reese fan to prove me wrong. I'll challenge every Angel Reese fan to show me that in the 24 games that Angel Reese is on national TV, Chicago Sky fans, because we all know the Chicago Sky fans are Reese fans. They're not really Sky. Most of them are not really Sky fans. They're primarily Reese fans. And y'all call y'all motherfuckers out to the carpet again because y'all the same motherfuckers who only watched her game, who barely watched her play in Unrivaled when y'all talked a whole lot of shit. 89,000, 76,000, the two lowest rated games of Unrivaled. You don't want to acknowledge it? I'm going to point it out in your face again for every Angel Reese fan around. You talk her up so much. How about you start supporting her? I don't blame her. I blame y'all. Y'all are morons. Most of y'all are morons. Not all. Most of y'all. Yeah, morons. Bluntly. Fucking bluntly. You guys will sit here and you'll pander and you'll talk the bullshit, but you didn't watch her play. So show me that I'm wrong and make sure that every game she plays on national TV this season, that there's 1 million plus watching her games. Not when she plays Caitlin Clark, but every single game that she's on national TV, that there's 1 million people watching. Show me I'm wrong. And you know what I'll do? I'll clap it up and say, you know what? Good. I'm glad I'm wrong. But the reality is, we all know. We all know that you like her social media, you like her fashion, you like everything outside of basketball about her. But you don't really care about basketball when it comes to her as much as you say you do. As much as you say you do. Because the reality is this, her games last year, comparative to Caitlin Clark's games last year, didn't draw shit. Which is probably why her team is 4th on the list behind Vegas, even though Vegas didn't even make the finals last year. Maybe Angel Wilson is more popular than her, although I would disagree. And I do believe Angel Reese is more popular than Angel Wilson. See, I am objective, but I'm objectively telling you, watch her fucking games. Watch her games. Angel Wilson fans, watch her games. Sabrina fans, watch her games. If you're a fan of a team, watch their games. Make it so that Caitlin isn't the only person that people are watching. But we all know. But this, again, is business 101. And unfortunately, some of y'all have just allowed business sense to just fly by you. Would you pay $1 million? Hell, $100. Would you pay $100 for a piece of paper? No. Would you pay $100 for a piece of paper that was in gold? You might. Would you pay $1,000 for a zircon? No. Would you pay $1,000 for a diamond? Probably. There's a reason that tickets for Caitlin Clark games are so fucking expensive. People are dying to see her play. There's a reason that they moved 6 different teams, moved her games to bigger facilities, and they can talk about scheduling conflicts all day. It's called making money. It's called making money. They want money. There's a reason that Angel Wilson's games aren't being moved all over the country. She doesn't have the draw. Angel Reese, yeah, they're moving a couple. Good. Now fill the building up. Fill the building up. But yeah, if I hope I gave you a business 101 class on what TV does and why TV's putting her on television and how putting her on television actually helps you as players make more money. Her being on TV helps you as individual players get paid more. If I was a player, I'd say put her on 44 times. Because I know that her ratings will help my league command a bigger check from television networks so that I, as a player, can make more bread. Or you can go on strike. Go on strike. Go on strike before the season starts. Please. I dare you. I would dare these players to do it. Go on strike. And see what happens to your league. That's all I got. You leave your thoughts in the comments. This is Rudy's Rant. We talk facts over feelings. I got nothing else.